Green for go, they're racing. He says go, he says ta-da, and Tiger Tara roars away from them on the home turn. Here comes another big boil over. Equine athleticism at its best. The King is in the castle once more. This is in one race, the rest are almost in another postcode. She is a star with a capital S. It's going to be a triple treat, a miracle three-peat. Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed history here at Menangle. What about that? It's getting right up on the sprint lane and it's going to bolt in.
Hello and welcome to episode 88 of the Sprint Lane podcast for Harness Racing New South Wales. This is the Sunday session. My name is Greg Hayes and I'm going to talk harness racing for the next 40 minutes or so, ad-free, being Mother's Day. Special happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there, and of course to my mama. Big happy Mother's Day. The work they do, that goes unnoticed a lot of the time, so a special shout out to all the mums tuning in today. The feature race last night at Menangle was the New South Wales Trotters Derby, and the filly doubled up on her Oaks win. Keayang Zahara, she's just so fast when she's asked to let down, very speedy, can run a trip too, so they're going to have some fun with her. Love the run of the second filly, Penny, as well. Highlighted her run last week in the Menangle Express, and she was very good again this week in the Derby. Being the Group 1, I thought I'd catch up with Jason Lee again on the podcast. I know I spoke with him last week, but hard not to get caught up in the hype around this filly. Now, Jason is travelling back to Victoria today, so the phone reception is a little dodgy. Fingers crossed we can catch up with him a little bit later on. Interesting Friday in harness racing in New South Wales. Dubbo on Friday night saw Jett Turnbull pick up his 100th career winner. This kid has got a remarkable strike rate. He's only been driving for 10 months and just drives winner after winner after winner. Still can't drive a car on the road, but can drive horses as fast as he wants. A good young kid, and I'm going to catch up with him today about the feat, the 100 winners as a 16-year-old. Just while we're talking about Dubbo, what about brother and sister Jason and Emma Turnbull dead heating in a race on Friday night? I messaged Jason after the event, and he said he can't remember if he's ever been involved in a dead heat before, but for sure he's never been in a dead heat with his sister. It could have been a fairy tale finish in that race. So it was the Jack Shanks pace, or the Remembering Jack Shanks pace at Dubbo. Now, Jack has passed away, and his horse Phase Delight was the horse that Emma drove. Could have been a nice result sent from heaven, but no, Jason had to spoil it and take half the win with Carla Greca. Speaking of sent from heaven, what about Jon Ponsonby? A lot of the older participants would remember John at the Old Authority as a handicapper. Well, John's back involved in the sport, training again, and he got back into the winners list on Friday at West Wyalong as a driver on a horse called Thanks Be to God. Thought I'd catch up with John today and have a chat about his decision to come back to the sport. I think John's 69, Jett's 16, so it really is opposite ends of the spectrum. I do like speaking to the younger participants on the podcast, and I've also reached out to Blake Medlyn to join me today. Good story with him. Young bloke, loves harness racing, but went and got a trade, finished his apprenticeship, and is now having a go at the horses full-time with Matt Rue. Blake drove a treble at Parks last Sunday, so I thought it'd be great to catch up with him as well. So a lot to get through today. First up, let's hear from this young man going places, Jett Turnbull.
30 seconds was that third quarter. The favourite in front, Borrowed Time. All Heart, No Heights moving up on the outside now. Out three deep, High Quest running into it. So too Nova Joe, who was specced. Along the inside, Burrabadine Bulletin, no room for Masaki. Borrowed Time in front, trying hard on the outside. With every step is All Heart, No Height, but Borrowed Time too good. Borrowed Time beats in second spot, All Heart, No Height. Possibly Masaki, who never got a run in the home straight in front of Nova Joe. It'll be a photo for third.
Well, Jett Turnbull brought up his 100 winners at Dubbo on Friday. Just having a look at his overall stats, 400, he's had more now, but when he got to the 100, 478 drives for 100 wins and 100 placings. They are unbelievably high strike rates. He's doing a very good job. He's only a kid. He's only 16. He's joining me to have a chat. Congratulations, Jett. Well done, mate.
Thanks, Greg. It's been an absolute pleasure these last couple of months getting the amount of winners I am.
Well, it's just all happening for you. It didn't take you long to open your account back when you first started driving, and you've just been driving winner after winner. It seems to come pretty easy for you.
Nah, it's all fallen into place. Dad having a lot of horses as well. I really couldn't thank him enough. He's been a pleasure to do everything for and everything with. and the new grading system sort of the first couple months when I first started driving really helped, having to put claims on every horse. So I abused my 5 claim while I had it, and it's really just all fallen into place.
Mate, was there ever a question that you would follow the family into harness racing when you were a young kid? Did you want to do anything else but harness racing?
Nah, there was absolutely nothing I'd rather do than harness racing. Even just doing the mini trotters since a young age as well, just nothing else grabbed my mind. And
then when you first started, did you expect the winners to come so quickly?
No, not at all. I was really hoping to get the 10 winners in my first couple of months, and I ended up getting 51 in my first year, my first 6 months, I should say. And once I'd done that, I really couldn't believe it, and I was pinching myself, and I'm still pinching myself today. But it's really like, I still can't believe it, but at the same time I can because it's all happening. But no, it's just absolutely amazing what's happening at the moment.
Now, Angus Garrard was the youngest driver to get to 100 winners. He did it as a 17-year-old. You've smashed that record. You've still got a couple of months before you turn 17. I went back and had a look at Arnie Amanda. It took her third season of driving before she got 100 winners, and Lauren Tritton, before she went off overseas, it was her third season that she drove 100 winners. So it just shows you how quick you've hit the ground running. Mate, do you set yourself goals? Have you got a target for the rest of the year?
Not really. I really just like to keep driving for Dad and getting the nice drives I am for a lot of different stables. Hopefully still with me 3 claim at the moment, but not really. But there's definitely goals there to get amount of winners in a couple to the rest of the season and all that sort of stuff. But not really at all. I'm just sort of liking driving at the moment and living each day as it comes.
So you'd like to get 100 winners by the end of the year? For the year?
Yeah, it'd be an honour too. I'm already on 50 at the moment, so here you go. And I've still got about 8 months, I think.
And how long will it be before you can get your Metro licence? That's still a fair way away, isn't it?
Yeah, it was 18 months since I first started driving, and it's been about 8.5 now. So about 10 months to go before I can drive down in the Metro races.
So what, will you be asking Mum and Dad every Saturday night, get me down to Menangle because once you can drive down there, because there's going to be opportunities galore, no doubt.
Yeah, as soon as I can get down there, I'll be busting to get down there, that's for sure.
What's going to happen in the future with you? Are you happy to stay in Bathurst at Mum and Dad's, or do you think in time that you're going to have to move to Sydney for those opportunities?
No, not really. I'm sort of in the middle of everything at Bathurst. I've got my home track Bathurst, and then I've got Parks and Dubbo, which are about 2.5, 3 hours to the west of me, and then the Sydney track's about another 2.5, 3 hours east of me. So it's all sort of in the middle for me, but the only place I'd ever really move if I'm good enough is overseas. But at the moment, no, I'm not looking at moving anywhere.
It was interesting. I noticed when you drove the 100 winners, Harness Racing New South Wales had something ready to go for their social media, and it was good to see some of the well-known names in the sport, like Tim Tetrick, put up a congratulations message on Facebook. So people from all around the world have got their eyes on you at the moment.
Yeah, it was pretty special getting a lot of messages. I also had Nancy Tactor and Brad Chisholm all messaged me from over there as well. Brad Chisholm said he had all his mates over there and a couple of the drivers at a pub watching a couple of the races there, and they were all going. So that was cool. But no, it's really exciting getting all these messages from all these good trainers and drivers.
Mate, I had someone ask me, I think it was at Goulburn when we were there for the Carnival of Cups, what does a young bloke do with all the money? Because you would be earning a fair wage at the moment. Are you banking your money, saving up for something?
Yeah, just saving at the moment. Yeah, I bought my car about 3 months ago, and everything since then's just been going into a savings account, which I'm not touching. So when I need it, there's going to be money there, that's for sure.
And what sort of car did you buy yourself?
I bought a nice Toyota Hilux Ute, so chuck me gig in the back there, and when I get me P's, I'll be at every meeting I can think of.
So you're learning to drive at the moment on the roads?
Yeah, I'm actually really enjoying it.
And who takes you, Mum or Dad?
Dad, usually, because when Mum drives with me, she can be a bit scary.
Mate, congratulations on the 100 winners. Amazing feat for a kid so young. You got your head screwed on. You come from a nice family. Good to see you having plenty of success, and we wish you all the best of luck going forward.
Thanks, Greg. Really appreciate it.
30.1, and it's thanks be to God for Jon Ponsonby and Blake Jones. Pirani Princess still closing in, only a neck away second. They've gone well clear over She's Got a Reason, Jeffrey B, and further back, not a doubt they turn. It's thanks be to God, the favourite first into the straight. Pirani Princess can't go with it at the moment. Thanks be to God, 100 metres out. It is home, and thanks be to God wins it by 6 over Pirani Princess, Jeffrey B, and further back, She's Got a Reason.
Great to see the name Jon Ponsonby back in the winners list on Friday at West Wyalong. Thanks be to God, proving too strong in race number 3. And I would think it's been quite a number of years since Jon Ponsonby has driven a winner. In saying that, he did have a lot of success back early in his career, and he was a name that a lot of people would remember having worked at the Authority. Jon Ponsonby joining me to have a chat. Congratulations, John. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much, Greg. Yeah, it was a real thrill to drive a winner again, and after 35 years from out of the sulky, and many people ask me, well, why would you want to do it again? But of course, I really always loved driving. I loved driving and training back in the 80s, and had my share of success with some nice horses over the years, and but I just could no longer compete in those days. There was a couple of trainers that were just too good for me, and I wasn't prepared to change my ethics, so I had to go and get a job. I had a young family with three children and a wife to feed, so I was lucky enough to be able to go and get a job at the Authority as a handicapper, which wasn't my first choice. But anyway, I always thank the good Lord that I was able to do it. So, and then when I've retired, I worked at the Authority for 18 years, and then when I paid my house off, I left the next day, and it says something, and then I went and worked for myself as a builder for a lot of years, and then when I retired, I just bought this very nice little property at Young, and thought I'd like to get back to the horses. And we had a broodmare with James, my son, of course, who had a fair bit of success, and he's now gone to the Gallops. And I thought, well, I'll give it a go. So lo and behold, I started breaking one or two in, and I broke this fellow in, thanks be to God. He's a beautiful animal now. He was tougher horses I've ever had to break in, but I broke him in, and then all of a sudden, after about 6 months overnight, he just changed overnight into one of the nicest horses you could imagine. He's, for a bloke of my age, when I shoe him and that, you just tap his leg and he picks it up for you. He's just a beautiful animal to train, as are the 3 horses that I've got. They're all lovely animals. And I don't know whether that's because maybe I'm a bit more patient these days or not, but or not so dependent upon it for a living as I used to be. But they're 3 beautiful horses, and you can lead them or drive off them, and they're lovely race horses, and that's a blessing for me. I don't like pullers, never have done, and he's a very nice horse, thanks be to God. I think he can really stay a bit, and I think he'll go on and win a few races. That was my 10th winner in 2 years that I've trained, and the first one that I've driven. So, yeah, fairly proud of it, fairly proud to get back after 35 years and have a winner.
So was it a case you were always going to come back to driving at some stage, or was there something that clicked and said, no, I want to have another go?
Oh, I'm a bit old-fashioned, Greg, and I was always taught you had to hang on to their heads, and I suppose back 40 years ago, horses weren't as good gaited as they are today, and you really did have to hold on to their heads. But I always thought, growing up with learning off the likes of Kevin Robinson and Newman and all those sorts of top guns, they never let go of their heads, and yet young drivers today seem to not hold them. But the young drivers I had were very, very good tactical drivers. But I just thought, well, I'm driving at the trials, why not have a go in a race? So, as I say, I didn't have any nerves, so which was a fairly big surprise to me. I thought after 35 years away driving in trials, I'd have some sort of nerves, and yet I didn't appear to have any within myself. If I didn't feel comfortable, I just wouldn't drive, because I don't think you can drive if you're a bit nervy. to do a good job. And anyway, so I started driving and, did my 20 drives, and lo and behold, got a winner the other day, much to my surprise. Not surprised. I thought the horse would win. I thought if the driver drives him decent, hangs onto his head, he'll probably win, and he did.
Are you going to be driving all of your team now? Is as a result of
this success? Cases I will. In most cases I will. I always loved driving. I wouldn't have trained, I don't think, if I hadn't been able to drive. And I'm just interested to see how I bounce these days.
Let's hope it
doesn't. The need arise. I hope it doesn't.
Yes, let's hope that doesn't happen.
But I'm pretty fit. I shoe them all, and I've always liked to keep fairly fit in myself, and it's just your mental attitude. I think you look in New Zealand, there's plenty of age drivers in New Zealand. Morris McKendry and those sorts of folks, they're skilled craftsmen and they're industry and they're still driving. And I'm not putting myself in that class, but I'm just saying that there's plenty of age drivers that do drive.
When you walked away from the authority, so when you left the authority and you went out building, did you ever think you'd come back?
I always had a plan that one day I'd buy a nice farm, which I've done, and get back into it. I always just loved training horses. I loved training them and I loved driving them from a very early age. And as I say, I did it professionally for 13 years back in the 80s, and did quite nicely. I know I paid off 3 mortgages while I was doing it, so I figured I did all fairly well out of it,
And did you hear from James on Friday? Was he quick on the phone?
Yes, he was the first one to ring and congratulate me, which was strange because he's been telling me for months to not drive, and I don't want to see you in a wheelchair, and give it up, you're too old, and all that. But he was tickled pink, I think. And my younger boy, who's a pilot, a captain with Qantas, he'd never seen me drive, so he was really tickled pink to come and see me drive. So that was great. Yeah.
Great to hear.
Family along, and it was a good day. Yeah.
With James, how's he going? How's he making it with the gallopers?
Yeah, well, he had the same problem a bit. He could no longer make a viable living out of the industry, and yet after he had over 500 winners, and yet so he said, I'm going to have to go to the Gallops, Dad, and he spent 2 years learning to train the gallopers, but he's a very good horseman, James, and he makes a very nice living now out of training the gallopers, and he's had for a young bloke, he's had a fair bit of success. When I say a young bloke, he's 40 now, and but a young person in the galloping game and not been in it very long, and he's had quite a good success, especially with stayers, and he rides all his own work. He's the complete horseman, and I'm sure and his family are very much involved, all these 4 kids, and that all love to help, and he's a great dad, and he's done very well out of it.
And what about you? Are you happy with the handful you've got, or can you see it getting a little bit bigger, or it's just comfortable?
No, I train 3, and that's about too many, but they're just 3 of the nicest, kindest horses that you could have. They're just not a bit of trouble, and that's what really the reason why I've got 3 is because they're just such beautiful horses. If they weren't nice horses, I don't think I'd have 3, but they're all lovely personality horses. They sort of want to know you, and my other horse, God bless you, he's won 7 races, and he's going really nicely. And I have a 3-year-old filly that I trained for a very old mate of mine, and it won a race at its second start at Wagga last year, and it went 58 at Wagga, so it's a lovely little filly too, nice filly. So if they were crook horses, I probably wouldn't. I'd just go back to 1.
Well, mate, great to catch up with you. Good to see you're having success, and great to see you back driving winners.
Thank you so much, Greg. It's been very, very nice. The amount of people that I had that have texted me on that Facebook thing on the computer, and I've honestly, I think well over 50 people have texted me to say good on you. So that's pretty nice to think that you're still remembered anyway.
Is the mountain too big a task here for Keayang Zahara? She's coming up 3 and 4 wide. Valtino's run into a dead end, and Mega Spur's going to come to the outside as heads were turned, and it's Maximus Meridius. He's giving a great sight for backers, but here comes the filly down the outside, Keayang Zahara, like she's been fired out of a cannon. She's quickly gone up on the outside and gone to the lead. Up on the inside, Penny's running a mighty race, but this mighty filly unbeaten. She's only had 4 starts. She's won an Oaks and a Derby, and she is top shelf all right. Keayang Zahara beats Penny. Another great run.
Spoke to Jason Lee on the podcast last week after the win of Keayang Zahara in the Trotters Oaks. Well, she's gone back to back. She's won the Trotters Derby now, and she joins Elite Company in doing so. And Jason Lee's back to have a chat. Congratulations, Jace. Well done.
Cheers, thanks, Andy.
Mate, another very impressive performance by the filly. She has got tremendously high speed.
Yeah, she hasn't just sort of got high speed for a trotter. She's just got high speed in general. She's matching a lot of pace.
Mate, tell us a little bit about the win last night. She showed a bit more gate speed. You said last week on the show you thought she'd had some gate speed if you asked her, and she definitely showed more last night.
Yeah, probably we'd had a look at the track, and it was the first go being on the gate under race conditions in the Oaks. So we're happy to come out a little more last night. Just probably could have even come out a little better, but just with the track being pretty wet underfoot, didn't want to overdo it. Probably began a little too good in the end, and after half a lap, we hadn't ended up in a pretty better position than we were first week.
And then I noticed you were trying to get off coming down the straight the first time, but there just didn't. Every time there was a half a gap there, the door shut so quickly on you.
Yeah, there was a few little opportunities, but just as soon as we sort of tried to take the advantage of them, the gates were shut pretty quick.
She showed, once she got into the clear, once she got off the back straight, once she got off the inside down the back straight, and then you asked her to move at the cages there, she just exploded.
Yeah, she was. I know the time probably didn't look super quick, but under the way the track was, probably going to be hard to be a really quick ran race. The track was. They did a great job. The track staff at Menangle could probably get the meeting underway, considering the rain that they said they'd had up here during the week, and we were a little bit touch and go. Arnie was up here with Tilly, and he rang us that morning, and road getting on the plane whether we were going to get to race, and thankfully all went ahead and they did underway because it was a fair bit of sitting on the track, so probably made it hard for them to run really good time, but they'd still done a little bit of work early, a few of them, so once we peeled and went, we're up beginning pretty good.
Mate, last week you weren't too sure what the plans would be long term. Have there been any decisions made in the last week what you're going to do now, especially after the victory last night?
No long-term plans. There's plenty of races down home, so Marg and Paddy and all the uncles and Glenn and all the team at home will sit down and probably just let her get over this sort of campaign up here for a couple of weeks, have a little bit of time in the paddock, but we've got plenty of options, and obviously don't want to overdo it, but there's nice races there. You have a crack at them first, so she'll aim up most likely at all the races back home.
And is she the sort of filly that's just going to continue to improve? Like, is she still learning what it's all about?
Yeah, she is. She's a little bit quirky. We haven't probably really asked her track work too much yet to really push her fitness-wise. So I think there will be a little bit of improvement. She's just got so much natural ability that she's sort of done it all without being asked too much. So obviously there's other ones keep improving, so she'll have to keep getting better. But she's got all the attributes there to take her a long way.
Well, mate, another big feature win at Menangle for you, 2 in the space of a week. Congratulations with that, and catch up with you again soon.
Cheers, thanks, Dave. I just want to thank all the team at home. We could be able to do it without our staff. We're a great crew of staff, and all the uncles and family that make it possible. So cheers, take care.
But the leader's off and gone, 29 and 4 as they straighten up though. It's Alabama Miss in front by 10 metres. Here comes Ermini Quince with the last challenge. Chillax along the inside and then back to Lookout. But down to the line it's Alabama Miss. Blake Medlyn a treble. Second will go to Ermini Quince and out wide Lookout third.
Young guy who is going places. Blake Medlyn, treble at Parks last Sunday, did a fantastic job. Career highlight for him, no doubt, and he's joining me to have a chat. Congratulations on the treble, Blake.
Thanks, Greg. Appreciate that.
Mate, tell us about how you've got involved in the sport. You've been around for a few seasons, but you seem to be driving a few more winners than normal of late.
Yeah. My old man has had horses as long as I can remember, and that's a big reason I got into it, just because of him. Yeah.
So you started out a few years ago, just helping your dad out. So he's always had horses, and then what? Decided recently to have a go full time.
Yeah. So I finished my apprenticeship up, and I've always been sort of mates with Matt Rue, and I knew he didn't have a worker at the time, and I just thought I would ask him the question if he wanted to put me on, and it's all sort of just gone from there.
It's good to hear young blokes with their heads screwed on. You went away, you got your apprenticeship, you've got your trade behind you if something went wrong, but you've decided to give your passion 100% and a full crack.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, I got that trade behind me. So if anything ever happens down the track, I can always fall back onto it.
How are you enjoying your time with Matt Rue?
Yeah, loving it so far. I think when I've looked at it, I think I've had the same amount of wins this season as my last four, and all of them have been from Matt, so that's been pretty cool.
Well, let's run through last Sunday and have a chat about the winners. Rainbow Titan for Matt on that occasion was able to lead and win, and geez, it won very comfortably.
Yeah, he's a nice horse when he can find the front, and it was just one of those races that worked out for me. With the scratching on the inside made it even easier for me.
And so it won by nearly 20 metres. The next of the winners, Mendoza Lass, it didn't win by as far, but you didn't, again, you're able to lead and it didn't have too many problems.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried at the start. Like, she does have gate speed, but I actually didn't think she could cross quite as easy. So when she found the front nice and easy, it definitely gave me a bit more confidence.
And then the one that gave you the treble was Alabama Miss, and again, it was a comfortable winner. Was able to hold the lead from gate 2 and won pretty comfortably.
Yeah, she's a lot like Rainbow Titan. Seems like the type of horse that really thrives off the front. So getting the lead nice and easy with her definitely helped that as well.
So last Sunday when you won the 3, was that a pretty big day for you? You're pretty excited with that?
Yeah, I usually get pretty excited if I just get one winner. So 3 I was over the moon.
And have you found that as a result of picking up 3 winners that you've people around the tracks are noticing you a bit more in terms of trainers, and hopefully now you'll get a few more opportunities?
Yeah, I'd definitely say they have noticed. I have had a couple more drives for different people since then. Hopefully, I can just get a few more drives along the way, which definitely helps along the track.
Mate, did you go back to your apprenticeship? Did you enjoy your mechanic apprenticeship?
Yeah, loved it. Done it with my old man, so it was pretty cool doing that.
And was it something that you always did as a young kid? You're always around, obviously around the horses, but you're around the cars as well?
Yeah, just here and there, going school holidays, help every now and again with Kev. I wouldn't say it was definitely something I was 100% going to dive into the horses time, but that didn't work out. So I was happy to go in and do that.
Yeah. And, his dad... Is he was he all behind the push into harness racing full time, or did he want to see you stay in the mechanic field? What was Dad like when you said that you wanted to go into harness racing?
Oh, I think he knew all along it's something I wanted to do, so he wasn't too worried. He was pretty happy to let me go and do it. He was big on me finishing my apprenticeship though.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense. And if you had your choice and you could pick your future, would you like to see yourself involved in harness racing 100% of the time going into the future?
Yeah, 100%. The way it's going so far, I'd like it to keep going that way. But if anything ever changes down the track, as you said, at least I got something to fall back on. Yeah,
for sure. Well, mate, it's good to see young guys in the industry. Sometimes they see the riches and the race wins and things like that, and they think that's all the future. But it's good to see you've got your head screwed on and you've gone and got yourself a trade just in case. And mate, you're driving winners, so that's the important thing at the moment. Congratulations on those 3 wins last Sunday. We wish you all the best of luck for the future, and good luck with your career.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
No probs. There he is, Blake Medlyn, young guy. You're going to hear more about him. He's working for Matt Rue, getting a few more opportunities, and driving plenty of winners at the moment. So watch for him in the future, Blake Medlyn. Time for the Menangle Express. Try and spot a winner or two going forward. Race 1 last night was over the longer trip, and the favourite was Jillaby Nitro at 350. The Grimer stable mates all showed speed, and it was I'm in Trouble who led. Last Tango in Heaven, Stravinsky, Dad and Dave, Tuppence, Jillaby Nitro, Zahara, Sirocco, Joni N, Boom and Double Encounter, with the field all on the marker pegs. 48.8 the lead time, so the speed was good. Leaving the straight after the bell, Joni N came off the inside, so Boom and Double Encounter followed it. Jillaby Nitro jumped off the pegs in front of those 3 to lead up the running line. Speed was constant, 29.1, 29.3. Joni N was gone at the cages, so it forced Boom off 3 wide. It also left room for the pegs horses to get off. So Dad and Dave squeezed off. Tuppence and Sahara Sirocco tracked through. 27.8 to the turn. Jillaby Nitro levelled up with I'm No Trouble. I'm No Trouble then started to roll off the inside under pressure, which gave the run to Last Tango in Heaven. Stravinsky eased around Jillaby Nitro and came at the leaders, but it was Last Tango in Heaven that proved too strong. 27.9 home for a 154 mile rate. Only 5 metres separated the first 5 past the post. Thought Boom's run was really good. Chances went up in smoke when Joni N stopped, but it'll be winning soon. Follow it, Boom. Race number 2, the favourite was No Heartthrob at 170. There was speed early from Foxy Data and Super Duper Dude. No Heartthrob worked forward without wanting to be in the early speed battle. They settled down like this. Pegs, it was Super Duper Dude, Foxy Data, He's Dusty, Ideal in Dreams and Playful Miss. Running line was No Heartthrob, Montalbano, Carlo Gambino, Lose Dream and Tishan Raider. 27.4 followed by 29.1. No Heartthrob got serious at the cages, levelled up soon after. Tishan Raider peeled wide on the turn from the tail. Lose Dream came out underneath it. 27.4 for the third quarter. Foxy Dada and Brian Portelli tried to push off the pegs, but Montalbano and Ricky Auchin held him in the position. Auchin only pulled Montalbano around No Heartthrob at the 200-metre mark. It was a really good piece of driving. Lose Dream was working home wider on the track. Montalbano proved too strong in the run to the line. Held him up for the one last crack, Ricky Auchin. It was rather than peeling on the turn. 28.2 up the straight, 152.1 overall. Lose Dream finished second out wide on the track. Tishan Raider worked home okay. Thought the rest had their chance. Race number 3. The favourite was Franco Primarkos at $1.95, and there wasn't a lot of action in this one at all. Classy Operator showed speed early from the inside, but was basically unchallenged in the early stages, and they went into single file and found their spots in racebook order. So it was Classy Operator, Captain Blood, Kalara Juggernaut, Franco Primarkos, Son of a Shark, Ananias, Big Black Diamond, Letty's Reason, Our Vinny and High Voltage, who wanted to throw its head around as they turned into the straight the first time. No speed at all, 51.8 the lead. They go faster in trot races. It was only when High Voltage came off the inside, turning out of the straight, that caused a chain reaction with a number coming off the inside. So the running line was Franco Primarkos, Son of a Shark, Aeneas, Letty's Reason. 29.8, 29.3 showed the speed didn't improve much to as well. Then they got serious. 27-1 around the corner. Captain Blood just spun the wheels behind the leader, and that sort of allowed Franco Primakos to get a half-breather in on the leader. Wasn't fully in behind Classy Operator, but was in there enough trying to save a little bit for the straight. Our Vinny worked off the inside and started to make ground, but Classy Operator was never in doubt. They handed that one to Grimer. 27-9 home for a 156 mile. Franco Primakos held second. Captain Blood hit the line well in third. He got left flat-footed when they sprinted, but came again in the straight. Best of the run on horses was Our Vinny in fourth. A lot of horses ran off their feet in that one. Race number 4, favourite was Sweet Cocoa at 220. There was speed early from Amore Infida and Dying Art, with Amore Infida crossing. So the pegs, it was Amore Infida, Dying Art, Zenzina and Lenny's Angel. Running line was My Moonlight Dreams, who could have been on the pegs but chose to come off. Sweet Cocoa, Winona Ryder, Pandaya, Dragon Tattoo and Just As Well. 26-7, and then they backed it off to 29-7. Race changed at the cages when My Moonlight Dream in the chair stopped. It just stopped the running line dead. Marker pegs was the place to be, so Dying Art came off from behind the leaders, and Zena followed it through and then came wider. Winona Ryder, Sweet Cocoa and Pandaya all had to build momentum again. 27-8 the third quarter, up the straight 28-4 for a 152.6 mile. Zenzina, too strong in the straight, held off Pandaya, who was enormous in second after being inconvenienced when the Death Seat horse stopped. Thought Dying Art was the one on the turn, but she didn't finish it off. Maybe the early burn, that 26-7 first quarter, just told late. Race 5 with the Bull Eye Trotters Cup. And the favourite was Toro Stride at $3.40. Standing start over the 2300. Big field, few gallopers early. Ravon Hall, Utopia, Have No Fear and Toro Stride. Sunny G began very well and led early. On the pegs, it was Sunny G, Leaf Stride, Chief Running Cloud, Majestic Lavros, Majestic Trio, Funky Monkey, Revelstoke, the Best Bourbon. A She's a Pleasure was caught off the inside, pressed forward, ended up rolling to the front inside the first 900 metres of the race. Lead time was 53.2. Turning into the back straight, the running line started with Majestic Trio coming out, followed by Funky Monkey and Revelstoke. 29.5, then 31.7. So there wasn't a lot of speed. 30 seconds round the side. Majestic Trio levelled up on the turn. Leaf Strive had to ease off the pegs and kept running into pockets. Revelstoke forced Funky Monkey out off the cover, turning for home. Revelstoke got to the outside, hit top speed. Leaf Stride was still looking for room and had to ease around Revelstoke before being allowed to find that top gear. Revelstoke held on from that fast finishing Leaf Stride. Desperately unlucky, the second horse. 28.6 final quarter, mile rate 2 minutes and 5/10. Majestic Lavros got up the straight well, cut the margin down late, never a winning hope. Race number 6, the New South Wales Trotters Derby. The favourite was Keayang Zahara, $2.50 from barrier 1. Jason Lee did say last week the gate speed's there if they want, and they just don't want to send her off ahead by using it. But this week she was allowed to stride at the start. Penny fired off from a wide draw, got a crosser though. A few galloped early. Val Ferenz, Mega Spur, Valtino and Head 'em Up all struck trouble. Agent Black and Maximus Meridius pushed forward, and soon after turning into the straight, Maximus Meridius got the lead from Agent Black. Further back on the pegs, it was Penny and Keayang Zahara. Running line was AJ Volstead, Thunderstruck, Head 'em Up, Mega Spur and Valtino. Jason Lee was looking for room to come off the pegs and just couldn't make room, so had to push up and hold the spot for pegs. 51.4 the lead time, 30.6, 32.8 the second quarter. Forced the hand of Matt Elkins on Head 'em Up, who charged out 3 wide to find the chair. This speed injection made a few gaps in the running line, which allowed Keayang Zahara to come off the inside into the running line. In saying that, he did get 14 days suspension for the move. 30 seconds for the third quarter. Maximus Meridius was off for the prize. Keayang Zahara was forced out 5 wide, sweeping around the field on the bend, and Agent Black came to the outside of Maximus Meridius, which, as Maximus Meridius started to roll off the inside, it left a huge gap for Penny, and she dashed through to take it. Keayang Zahara had her speed up down the outside and doubled up with the Derby after winning the Oaks last week. Good performance. Penny, great run again. She's really good. She isn't getting the raps of the other filly, but she's ready to win a race, as I said last week. 18 metres back to third. Agent Black getting there late to grab the minor money. The top 2 fillies are classy. Race number 7, favourite was Can't Find a Better Man at $2.10. On reflection, I wonder whether the pegs became a bit heavy after all of the rain. No speed at all in this one over the longer trip. Typo showed good speed off the inside and led, with noted fast beginner Arden's Ace able to make enough room to drop in behind it. Went into single file early, so then it was Malcolm's Rhythm, LL Cool J lineup, Can't Find a Better Man, Port au Prince, Where You Been Boppin' and Total Diva. As they passed the judge, lineup came off the inside and basically everything behind it jumped into the running line. Slow lead time, 53 seconds, followed by 31.2 and 29.3. They started to get serious from there. 28 round the side, and it looked as though Typo had got the right run. But turning for home, he went from looking good to looking vulnerable in the space of 50 metres. Can't Find a Better Man peeled off cover, and Where You Been Boppin' got to the outside and started to flood home. Can't Find a Better Man tried to go with Where You Been Boppin', but the roughie got there in the shadows of the post. 27.3 home, mile rate 158.1. Typo, not sure with him. I don't know whether to give him a forget run or not. Could be completely wrong. The inside might have been fine, but off that run, he simply should have won. In saying that, the leader got home in race 8, so just not too sure what to think of Typo after race 7. Race 8, favourite was Wave the Bill at $2.60. There was speed early from Wave the Bill and Vincent Van Gogh, but Wave the Bill got to the front. They all wanted to get to the peg, so it became single file except for one horse. Behind the first two, it was Sailor Girl, Little Bliss, Robbie Rocket, Lock Eel, Sheffield Sparky, Our Uncle Jim and Dark Terror. Red Reactor looked to ease to go to the tail, but then they got into the back straight and it went forward instead. Sheffield Sparky came off the inside in the back straight to lead up the running line, which consisted of Red Reactor, Dark Terror and Our Uncle Jim. 27 seconds and then 29.3 for the first half, 28.5 round the side. The leader kicked away. There was enough room for Vincent Van Gogh to come around it, but Vincent Van Gogh was just that, and it wasn't travelling. Sheffield Sparky was still whacking away. Little Bliss was trying to negotiate traffic and had to ease right to the outside to get into the clear. Dark Terror was making ground out wide. 27.9 up the straight, 153 won the mile. Wave the Bill held on. Sheffield Sparky was all out, but held on for second. Little Bliss was good late, darting through gaps for third. Best win of the night, well, Keayang Zahara again, I guess. Look, it had a few traffic issues in the back straight, but Jason Lee again pulled the right rein at the right time. Explosive filly. I'm not too sure of the depth in what she's been beating here in Sydney, except for Penny. I really like her a lot. I've got a lot of time for Penny, but Keayang Zahara looks to have a bright future. Best beaten performance of the night, I'm going to go with Leaf Stride. Unlucky in the Bull Eye Trotters Cup. Jim Douglas had to ease it all the way to the outside and ask it to extend late, and it hit the line, but just missed Revelstoke, who got a lovely run in transit. That was a really good drive. Best drive of the night, few nominations here. Ricky Alchin was good with Montalbano. Brian Portelli tried to push him out of the way, but Alchin held his spot for as long as he could. He didn't want to go too early with Montalbano. Chloe Formosa on Zenzina, 3 pegs, just followed the pegs, but was good. And Nathan Jack on Revelstoke found the perfect helmet to follow, came with the one run, perfect drive, got the result. I'll go with Revelstoke and Nathan Jack. Nathan's just got a really good affinity with the square gators. He's got great hands. And Nathan Jack, driver of the night.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Winning. Hey, that's pretty good.
Winner!
That was legitness.
That I say, all right. Wow, winning.
Bam! Just like that. That's all there is to it, Dustin. That's all there is to it. A winner! Just like that.
And the winner is...
Definitely not Mr. T. He's struggling. He's back to minus $70. And I got 2 winners this week, but just made a $3 profit. So I'm back to minus $1. So $69 in front of Mr. T. Can he bounce back? I say no. He says yes. Here's 2 tips this week. Bathurst, race 6, number 1, Delightful Star. Olivia Frisbee trains and drives this one. Last start winner, has drawn well in barrier 1, looks really well graded in a rating 47 and gets in as a rating 55. So Mr. T thinks it goes back-to-back. Delightful Star, race 6, number 1. And race 7, number 3, Cheeky Kiss for Matt Rue. Only had the 1 start. That was in October last year. It won at double-figure odds, but has been at the trials and did win a trial back on April 29. So Cheeky Kiss trying to make it 2 from 2, race 7, number 3. My 2, I'm going to go to Bankstown on Monday. Race 5, number 2, All-Star Magician, jumping on the Zahara Fitzpatrick Juggernaut. Good speed, can take some catching around the tight Bankstown circuit. Not a lot of form exposed in this one. I thought if All-Star Magician could jump to the front, might take some catching, considering it's got some good Menangle form recently, if you can forget that last Canberra effort. So that's race 5, number 2, and Bathurst, race 9, number 9, Giselle. I'm going to pinch Mr. T's from last week. Gee, it was unlucky. Stormed home from the rear of the tail, from near the tail, and only just missed. It's got the inside of the second row to overcome, but I think it'll be storming home and winning that race. So race 9, number 9, Giselle. Fantasy update with only 2 rounds to go. Champo 71 leads on 18,795. Mays is second on 18,666. So nearly 129 points behind. And Manning 1990 is back in third on 18,575. I'm still hanging in there, 78th on 16,496. Round 24 was a tie between Bodie Tree 1 and Manning 90 with 810 points. Cam Hart down another $200,000. The Riverina drivers are getting quite expensive. Jack Painting and also Blake Jones up over the $1 million mark. Jett Turnbull pretty affordable at the moment, under the $1 million. Make sure you get all your changes in and update your team for round 25. Of course, just a round 26 and that's it. That's about it. Thanks to all the guests. Big show today. Don't normally catch up with 4, but I thought it was worthwhile. So thanks to Jett Turnbull, Blake Medlyn, Jon Ponsonby, and of course Jason Lee. Have a great week, and I'll catch you next Sunday for another episode of the Sunday Session.